Good morning and welcome from the Capital Area North District Office as we gather here for this church conference briefing. We are gathered here on the couch with Jill Phillip, who works here in the office, and Roger Grace and myself. And the three of us are hoping to bring you some good information this morning. And you know this is in lieu of us all traveling together to one central location where either you would come or someone from the church office would come to gather and receive this information. You probably have already received the packet from your cluster leader. If you have not, you'll want to get that pretty quickly from your cluster leader. But we want to make sure that we get this information to you in a timely way, and I think we're probably saving everyone a little bit of time by doing it this way versus everyone traveling to someplace. So we're going to see how this works. But we would normally start off with a little food that the host church would provide. So we will just take a quick moment for you to run to the refrigerator and grab something. Okay, hurry. Okay, great. Thank you. If you all, you could, we don't have anything.
No,
we'll get it later.
Yeah.
Okay. So the other thing we would do normally is we would open, I think, with the song. So this morning we are going to sing for you. And did we decide what we were going to sing?
You might be singing it, Jill might, but I won't be.
We didn't really come up with anything.
Okay.
So.
I'm not singing by myself. So we're going to skip the song that we would normally start off with and go right into the information that we can share with you this morning. Which we get the great pleasure of starting off with some great breakthrough information about the breakthrough gold cards. As you see, they are a new color this year, and we want to make sure that you fill them out in the correct way. And actually, our district has been doing very great job at filling them out. We don't have 100% participation, but we're moving towards that. And we want to make sure you don't fill them out with percentages, but you fill them out with exact numbers. So keep that in mind as you are filling those out.
And next.
The church conference packet is what you received from your cluster leader, or if you picked it up from here at the office. There have been very few changes in our church conference forms for this year. It's pretty much standard. Those of you who've been doing church conferences for years will recognize it. We're not going to read through the forms for you, but you'll recognize it because it says right on it, church conference forms. So it's pretty self-explanatory. One of the things you do want to remember, and that's on page 2, is are you having a charge conference or a church conference? Church conference, all members of the church have a vote. Charge conference, it's officers only. So you do need to announce it the way you want it to be done. One of the things that we ask you to do every year is to fill out your worship and Sunday school times. This is really important. It's really embarrassing, Marcus, when I go to visit in a church and I'm a half hour early or I'm a half hour late, because there have been changes in worship time that I've not been informed about. I don't know if it's happened to you, but it's happened to me more times than I can count.
Those summer schedules sometimes throw me.
Yeah, it really is. It's helpful to us because we do like to get out and visit and build relationship within the church. One of the major new things this year is a call to missional alignment. If you were at annual conference a year ago, you'll remember that there was a proposal that every church be involved in mission, both globally and locally. And there is a report now this year on the new church conference forms to account for that. So pay attention to that as you do your forms. Ministry recommendations, fairly standard. Do you have anybody going into ministry as either a deacon or an elder or a local pastor? Or do you have licensed local, do you have certified candidates for ministry? Let us know. Nominations forms, very standard. You as pastor are part of the nominating committee. Fill out the forms and let us know who you have. The compensation report is very important. Most of us like to receive a paycheck. I know I do. You want to make sure that you fill out a form for every clergy person on staff at your church. We need a separate form, including ARP, accountable reimbursement, and housing allowance exclusion or housing allowance if you're not living in a parsonage. We need these forms for everyone. One of the other major changes this year was voted on at annual conference, and that has to do with insurance. If you're on the conference insurance, We need to know that. If you're on your spouse's insurance or insurance from a previous job, retirement, or some other form of insurance, we have to have a signed waiver stating that you're off. The instructions are very clear. We do need to have that. The last page of the charge conference forms is the signature page. Don't wait until you get to charge conference and have one of your officers not show up. Get them signed before you show up, and then it's much easier to do. We do have a form for lay speakers reports. This is important because the charge conference has to approve persons to be either basic lay speakers in the church or district certified lay speakers. So all your lay speakers need to fill out a report form.
Great.
Yes, I'm next. There is something in your packet called the 2012 information packet. This is the information regarding accountable reimbursement and housing allowance exclusion. It's pretty self-explanatory. We would like copies of those back here in the district office, basically for your protection, so that when you're at a different church 5 years from now and your church secretary is no longer there and you're audited, we can find the forms for you. So make sure you get those done and send those back to us. The other thing that I want to talk about specifically is called the contact information worksheet. It's kind of the big document. It lists everybody, your staff, your church officers, all their contact information is in here. Please just be real clear if somebody's leaving, just cross them out, put the new person's information in there, and then there is a place in the back to add new people. This is also where you would add new folks that are new certified lay ministers, new candidates. If they're brand new and we don't have them in there, go ahead and add their information at the back. And the other thing I'm requesting is please, please, please take the time to look up emails and give those to me, because then our communication is so much faster, more efficient, and less costly if we can just send emails out to, you know, the entire group of lay ministers or youth ministers or finance committee chairpersons or whatever, to get them information timely. So please, please get that back to me.
Great. And did you have a copy of the lay speaker annual report? Do you have that, Roger? Did you share? Okay, we've got that. Make sure you fill that out. We wanted to share that information with you also. Also, apportionments. We do have an apportionment report. If you'd fill that out, it's on whatever color sheet that is. Fill that out, and we would appreciate that. And know that so far, after 6 months here in the Capital Area North District, we are 3% above giving in apportionments than we were from the previous year. So that is some great news, and you and we all know that those monies are used for some great missional needs that really help to change the world. So we encourage you in that. If you have some questions about that, give me a call anytime about that.
Okay. The next thing you'll find in your packet is this little yellow-green sheet. It's your staff parish contact information. We need names, addresses, emails, and phone numbers for your entire staff parish committee, if at all possible, and please indicate who is the chairperson. We use that frequently. Also in your packet is a yellow sheet, which is your church conference minutes forms. Having been a church conference recording secretary many times, this is really easy. I recommend filling it out for your recording secretary ahead of time, at least with the information on compensation, so it's all real clear. And this is something that is done at the charge conference, and we would really like a copy of this back. We do end up referring to this, so make sure you send those back to us after the charge conference. And the other thing that you'll find in there in this kind of blue form is the agenda draft. We were waiting until Bishop Palmer arrives to kind of custom the opening that we're going to be doing at the charge conferences this year, so that is to be announced. But what you really need is the bottom of the form. This basically is the format you can follow for running your own individual church conferences, so hopefully that'll be helpful for you. And the last piece I want to show you is the wonderful Capital Area North directory. Two copies went out in every charge conference packet. Also, there was an electronic version of this sent out with the email that went out with all the church conference forms that I sent to everybody. So that's a really nice way to have it where you can find it. Just save it from the email to your computer, put one of these in your desk, and hopefully they'll be helpful for you when you're looking people up.
And let me just go back and reiterate something about the actual church conference cluster meetings. We are going to be showing a video. We just found out yesterday we're going to have a video of Bishop Palmer sharing some things about the vision and ministry in the church, and some welcome and introductory statements that'll be for the Capital Area North District as well as the other districts. But we will be showing that video at each of the cluster gatherings as we begin for those cluster church conferences.
Joe mentioned a moment ago about the importance of doing the audits. It's protection for the church and protection for you as pastor. So I just want to reiterate, there are a few churches that have not yet completed their audit for 2011 and got the copy to us. So if you're on that list, shame on you. We need to get your audits in. We need to have that for your protection as well as for your church. Also, there's the Bureau of Workers' Compensation that pastors are in the state of Ohio not required to be covered under Bureau of Workers' Compensation. So there has to be a form filled out with the name of the pastor so that the monies that go into BWC actually cover the pastor. And this is really important because if you get injured on a job-related accident, your other insurance won't cover it because they will say this is a BWC claim. So you really do need to make sure that you have that form turned in on you and that you are listed by name in the current church where you're serving. We do have those forms.
We do.
West Ohio Conference does have a group plan with BWC. It saves you money.
And we have had quite a few inquiries about this, so please double check that and make sure you're all set with that. It's crucially important that you're on that.
Yeah.
So next, our clergy evaluations. You probably have all received those, and I've had some questions about those. Most folks are using those evaluations and those instruments in their form that you've received them. Some are veering from that. You have some openness about that, but we do need those evaluation forms back by September 30th. And we hope that that is a part of some fruitful engagement conversation that you'll have with your staff parish during that time. So we're looking forward to talking with you about those, as well as during the one-on-ones. We've already begun some of the one-on-ones. We are requesting that anyone who would like to have one, we have some dates available. I do want to make sure that I meet with all the folks who are in new appointments or those who are retiring or planning on probably requesting a change. Or if you have some significant issues going on, I want to make sure that we get a chance to get together this time. But remember, I am open and available at any time. Most of you have my cell number. If you don't, I'll give it to you. Well, maybe we'll just leave that on email for since this is going to be on YouTube.
Yeah,
we'll just leave that on. So, but this has been great talking to you this way. We hope that we've been able to get some great information across to you, saved you a little time from traveling to a place, and we are looking forward to gathering with you at a location sometime soon. Speaking of that, remember we will have the new bishop's installation service on September 16th. That's Sunday afternoon at Church of the Messiah.
4 o'clock.
At 4 o'clock. So we know we'll be seeing you all then as we look forward to this great and exciting time together. Now, since this video is about done, if you didn't have enough time in the beginning to grab some food from the refrigerator for this video, go get something now. And then hey, come back here because I did want to close with a song. Okay, forget that song. Okay, we'll forget that. Okay.
No, we're going to eat.
See y'all later. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.